Hello everyone, I am CryptoRenzi and this is your channel for Apex Bitcoin and crypto news. And in this video, we're going to discuss the wonderful month of October. But is October going to bring you a trick or a treat? Let's find out. So to get a better understanding of the projection of what October is going to probably do for Bitcoin and altcoins, let's first take a step back and look at what's going on in the world right now. Okay, so we know we have the halving cycle of Bitcoin coming up next year in April. We also know next year is an election year, which is really important and powerful, both for the crypto market and the stock market. You have to understand there's going to be a lot of stimulus money going around where they're going to be giving this money to donors and buying off politicians and bribes. So all this is going to factor into the economic markets. And as you could just look back in history, the years of elections have always been pretty bullish for the markets in general, particularly the stock markets. And this stuff is going to carry in. So we're looking for stimuluses, right? We're looking for the halving cycle as a huge stimulus, the election cycle coming up as a huge stimulus, Blackrock with the ETF approval coming up potentially Q1 of next year as a stimulus, Ethereum Spot ETFs now being applied for and potentially coming out again as well next year, or maybe even earlier at the end of this year. We don't know. That's still on the table. That's a huge stimulus. And we also have to factor in the housing market, right? Because mortgages are increasing, rent is increasing, things are just not going well in that sector. People can't really afford their homes. And if you factor in the Jones cycle, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, have to have new SUVs, new cars, new homes, new everything. People have children, you have to pay for school, food, utilities. People are just having a much harder time living and surviving now, right? I mean, I was looking at the store the other day and just a jar of peanut butter where I live here in Las Vegas, depending on what you're looking at, can be like up to $6 or $7 a jar. You know, it's phenomenal when you think of this stuff. And then think of gasoline prices. How is that affecting you? So you have to look at everything in a huge crystal ball. Okay. You don't want to just look at it like, oh, I love Bitcoin, buy it. Oh, I love Ethereum, buy it. Oh, I love whatever, buy it. You want to make sure you have conviction, purpose, and reason behind this stuff. Because I know many of you are sitting on the sidelines still. You know, when am I going to get in Bitcoin? When am I going to purchase? What should I do? And the longer you wait, the more you're going to pay. But you have to remember, if you wait too long, you're going to get priced out. And we're about to enter the most exciting time of the market. This is what you've been waiting for. And here's the thing. If I'm wrong, no damage really done. You just wait a few extra months. That's it. And while you're waiting, be smart. Continue to DCA in your positions that you have conviction in. That way, when the market finally does turn and goes parabolic, you're going to enter profit quicker than rather just purchasing something right now and sitting and holding. But if that's all you want to do, I'd rather you do that than do nothing at all. Again, not financial advice, but we're going to eventually talk about altcoins at the end of this video, so stay till the end. But I just want to make this point right now, because I don't know, for those of you that don't stay till the end, I want to make sure you hear this, okay? Because I have a lot of people that always reach out to me to talk about altcoins, and I am, and we will, and it's going to happen, like I said in this video. But understand something. This is a crypto and a wealth creation channel. In order for me to help you truly create wealth and change your life and change your family's life and history and family tree, and whatever other goals you have, or maybe whatever legacies you want to leave behind, that all starts with the pinnacle, the top, the apex, the zenith, the highest point, and that's Bitcoin. So I need to make sure you feel in your mind you're exhausted with your Bitcoin position, which you really should never be, but make sure you have as much as you comfortably can get for your situation. Remember, not at financial advice, you do you. But I'm speaking to those who are financially responsible, who know what they're doing with their money. You have to make sure you are comfortable with what you have. Because remember, I'm here for the long journey with you guys. Okay. But there's going to come a time where you're going to eventually get priced out of Bitcoin. And you're going to miss those conversations as I continue to talk about Bitcoin, to where you're just going to wait for me to talk about altcoins because you missed out on Bitcoin. And don't be that guy or gal. Don't be that person. If you're here right now and you're listening to this video, I truly ask you, think about this. Why are you here? Why are you watching and listening to this? This is the time, people. This is the time. We're at the beginning of October. Things are about to change. We could have some chop in October and November. There's still a lot of uncertainty going on with the Fed and everything, but that plays in your favor. But time is flying. I mean, the end of the year is almost here. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rambling on too much before we get into the heart of this, but I just want to make this crystal clear. Make sure, have the Bitcoin that you want. You won't be able to purchase it forever because altcoins are always going to be here. They serve their purpose. They serve their place. I do have altcoins. You can make a lot of money in altcoins. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys and gals love that hit of dopamine, that adrenaline rush. But I just want to be responsible and make sure we build our house first. Make sure we have an unbelievable foundation. Our foundation is Bitcoin before we start to put the structure up. All right. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and look at the markets. All right. So as we can see, Bitcoin is right at 27,800. We had almost a 6% bump in the last 7 days, which has been nice. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. We finally have some nice green action going on. Ethereum as well is up to 1670. We had some tiny little drop downs here. I think Ethereum was up to 1727 like yesterday, I believe, like 12 hours ago or so. And notable as well as look at Solana, almost up 21% in the last 7 days. And we're going to talk about Solana as well in this video. So just some nice notables to look at. Let's also take a look at the bubbles. I do like to take a look at this and kind of see what's going on. So let's look at the week and let's see what jumps out at us. Again, Solana up 20% here. Rune as well is up 20%. Arbitrum 15.6. That's a nice little pop as well. And yeah, it's an exciting time, like I said, to be in crypto. And we're just getting started and heating up. Let's also take a look at the fear and greed index. Right now, we're literally right smack in the middle at 50%. So this is a neutral reading, which, yeah, that's pretty much what I would expect right now, to be honest with you. Bitcoin dominance is just a hair under 48% as well to make note of. Now, next, I want to go to a chart that we looked at in September. And this basically shows the monthly returns of Bitcoin since roughly 10 years ago. Now, we ended up squeaking out a positive finish for September, just a hair under 4%. And what I want you to notice is there was only 2 other times this happened. In 2016 at 6%, and then the prior month, 2015, at 2.35%. But what I want you to notice is what happened the following months. They were all positive, right? Same here. Very bullish and positive. Now, again, I'm not saying history is going to repeat itself, but it's a nice indicator to look at. And this is something powerful we have, as well as the way I started this video, knowing the bullish points we're looking at, right? The halving cycle, the problem with the housing market, the Ethereum spot ETFs potentially coming soon, Bitcoin spot ETFs coming very soon, right? All the influence BlackRock has in the market as well. And just, yeah, there's a lot of positivity going on here that I want you to see firsthand. And let's just go ahead and hop over and take a look at the Bitcoin chart quickly while we're at it. And not too much going on. We did have some price action up here recently. This is, again, the daily chart. So I like to look at the daily candles when I'm doing a lot of my research. You can see I have all my lines drawn in here. And we're kind of just hovering in the middle of no man's land, really. But again, I'm almost not even caring so much about the chart right now, because you have to look at the bigger picture, right? What do people say? When in doubt, zoom out. And there's just so many factors and indicators building up in Bitcoin right now that even the charts is just going to be quick indicators if you are a trader. But if you're truly looking at this long term, you need to look at more metrics even than stochastic charts, in my opinion. And I personally believe we've been in a bull market, but we're starting to be in a true early cycle of the bull market. And you're starting to see that with everything that's starting to heat up and go on. You're starting to see these quick, powerful pumps in Bitcoin and Ethereum. You're starting to see a little altcoin action as well fluster up. So just keep that in mind. Be excited about what's going on, but don't sit on the sidelines too long. I don't want you to get left behind. You're still early, barely. Okay, but you're still early. But don't miss this opportunity. Okay, and remember, grab that one whole Bitcoin if you can. Work hard to get to that point. Do the best you can. Okay, I just want to keep stressing that point. So let's go ahead and grab some more bullish news on Bitcoin. As we can see with the mooch, Anthony Scaramucci has just made a recent price prediction on as well. So Anthony Scaramucci, founder and creator of Skybridge Capital, believes that a cryptocurrency bull market might be sparked by the halving of Bitcoin and the adoption of a spot Bitcoin ETF, both of which are anticipated to happen in April of 2024. Again, just like I started this video, this is more bullish gasoline fuel that you can add to the fire as you can start to see how these things are all accumulating together. Let's go ahead and jump into some altcoin news. Okay, Ethereum, obviously, something is super important to own and have, but don't just own Ethereum because you hear me talk about it or you heard other YouTubers talk about it or you heard your buddy at the water cooler talking about it. You want to be smart and wise with all your decisions. Don't just buy something again because you heard someone talk about it. Okay, this is very important. Ask yourself, why am I purchasing this? Okay, so Ethereum is a commodity. Okay, it's not a security. So that's very important to remember. And Ethereum has a ton of use case, right? It still has its problems. They're still working out stuff. The gas fees are still very high, right? And there's still things they're working out amongst themselves in the blockchain. But ton of potential, super important with the ecosystem. There's a ton of layer solutions that are built into this program. And obviously, it's just something you really need to consider looking at. And when Bitcoin pumps, Ethereum is going to pump with it. But what I want to bring to your attention here is investment manager Valkyrie Funds LLC has begun adding Ethereum futures to its existing ETF. After getting the green light from the SEC, the company said on Thursday, it would be the first time futures-based Ethereum or Ether contracts would be available to investors via an ETF in a boost for the crypto market. I mean, this is huge news, okay? So remember, we're not so worried about the futures ETF. It's the spot ETF we're looking for. That's what's going to generate the positive feed coming into the market. Let's go ahead and look at Grayscale as well. Same thing, Grayscale files application to convert Ethereum Trust into a spot Ethereum ETF. Same principle applies here. There's a lot moving forward towards with Ethereum. And then I also want to talk about Solana. Solana is another altcoin that I currently hold. Now, I know some of you guys love Solana or you hate Solana, but again, put your biases aside. We're here to make money, right? We're here for wealth and money generation. And there's money to be made here, okay? But again, remember, make sure you have your Bitcoin where you need to be, and then we can trickle down into some altcoins. Because what we're going to do is we're going to ride these altcoins. We're going to ride them hard into the bull market. We're going to take our profits, and we're going to rinse and repeat and trickle that back into Bitcoin on any dips that Bitcoin has in the future. That's the best plan moving forward, in my humble opinion. Now, why Solana? So why Solana? Solana has excellent fundamentals and metrics. It has a ton of developers working off of it. And it recently partnered with Visa, as well as you can see here on the screen, Shopify. This is a big deal here. And for those of you who may or may not use Solana, it's crazy fast, right? Let me pull up the chart to show you. I mean, you have to try it for yourself, but just look at these numbers, right? 0.4 seconds approximate time. That's unbelievably fast. So Solana's onto something here. And pulling off their website, why Solana? Okay, so one of the co-founders, he has a background in cell phone network building. But I just want you to pay attention to this part here. They believe that in order for people to build the projects that will get the public using blockchain technology, you need to make it as easy and painless as possible for people to experiment and use the technology as possible. Couldn't agree more. There's a reason we have to, make these channels and deliver the news and report to this stuff, because this stuff can get very complicated. There are a lot of gray areas, and this stuff it gets rather cumbersome. Okay. So I try personally my best, and I know other YouTubers do as well, to try to unpack this information, explain it to you as well as we can. And depending on, what your flavor is, if you're really into altcoins, what I want to challenge you with is, please ask yourself why you purchase it. Does it have use case? Does it have real communities and followers and backers? Do you see big, huge Fortune 500 companies coming in to back it, behind it, like you see on other layer 2 solutions? Which, again, we're going to dive deeper into altcoins on a later video. I just kind of want to get your feet wet a little bit and show you stuff that's, I'm, in full disclosure, I currently own as well, and I'm holding. There's a lot of money to be made in a bunch of different sectors here. But keep in mind, I'd say about 90% of all the altcoins are just trash. They're garbage. So be very careful. So the more risk you're willing to take, potentially, the more money you could make. But just be careful. Be careful with these things. So just remember, the more risk you're willing to take, the more money you potentially could make with altcoins. But you can also lose it as well. And you have to look at your situation. Are you brand new coming into crypto right now? Or are you holding negative positions from the last bull cycle that you got into late on? Depending on who I'm speaking to, it makes a difference on your position and where you are. But do me a favor, go ahead and comment down below on your favorite altcoins. Tell me what you love to hold. Tell me what you're holding. Tell me what you believe in. Tell me what you think is going to be spiking in the next cycle. Because I know there's a lot of people with a lot of convictions on this stuff. But I just want to make sure the one thing we all should be able to agree on, whether you love it, like it or not, is Bitcoin. And as long as we have everybody taken care of with Bitcoin, who's early, who's listening to this channel, then we can sit back and have fun with altcoins and kind of pick them off and play with them. And that's all coming soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. But my main goal is to make sure you're always taken care of, you're protected, and you see and get what you need to get out of this. So it's funny how I made a video on Blackrock, okay? And this ties into the narrative very importantly with Bitcoin. About a month ago, I made a video on Blackrock. See the future on Blackrock. Go ahead and click here if you haven't seen that video. But I dug deep into BlackRock's paperwork of their meeting for investors, and I kind of just read between the lines and figured out my own narrative about how they're going to switch from their ESG, from how they hurt themselves with the energy, to now how they're going to spin it and talk about how Bitcoin is really carbon neutral and just so good for the environment. And I'm noticing now other YouTubers are starting to take this narrative as well, which I'm happy and proud to see, because we want to get all this correct and positive news out as soon as we can, because we need to try to stay a step ahead of even BlackRock if we can, right? Meaning buy Bitcoin as much as you can, because whatever you're selling, BlackRock's buying. Know the narrative of they're changing Bitcoin's perspective analysis to being eco-friendly, okay, which it is. It always has been, but people had a negative connotation on it. Now it's turned positive. Remember, I told you BlackRock is going to start to feed this information to the news and the media, which in turn is going to start feeding it to you. Maybe not necessarily you who's watching this because you're smarter than that, but you're already well informed and a step ahead. But that information is going to start going out to the world in masses and droves. And eventually it's going to trickle down to where people's going to realize, like, oh, Bitcoin's so environmental friendly, so let me go ahead now and get it. And now there's really no carbon emissions. Oh, now I want to save the world, save the universe, whatever it is you're into. Most people were against Bitcoin in the beginning because they heard, oh, it uses so much electricity. That's all been disproven. That's all a bunch of nonsense. You can set up, like, I don't know, I forget how many miners it is, and it's barely like turning on your dishwasher. So again, BlackRock has debunked this, has twisted it around, put it in their favor. So anyway, just don't be fooled by false propaganda. Know that BlackRock is brilliant. they're ahead of everybody else. They have friends in high places. They know what they're doing, and they're going to try to corner the market, leave everyone behind, and they're buying whatever you're selling. So be smarter than them, stay a step ahead, buy your Bitcoin, hodl it, and just remember, you always do you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that matters. You're the one you're trying to build a legacy for. You're the one who deserves a better life. And please don't forget, tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Please live every day to the fullest. God bless you, and I'll see you guys next time. And please, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash that like for me, and I'll see you next time.